season of Lotus Riche Ignites Show, bringing you realness, authenticity, and unparalleled wisdom from top leaders, business professionals, pioneers, and everyday people. Thank you for joining us. Have a great time during the show. Hello and welcome to the Lotus Riche Ignites Show. I am super happy that you are here tonight. So come on in and get in where you fit in. Go and tell your friends, tell your dog Toto, and also tell your frenemies, because your frenemies need this message as well. I am super happy to be here tonight with you, and I'm looking forward to all of you having a fantastic time. Okay, so while you're having a fantastic time, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to go ahead and just tag somebody and then put it in the feed and let us know who you are contacting, okay? Who you're tagging, who you're sharing love with, and telling them to come on in. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do that. See you in a second. You've got time to blow your mind and go ahead and tag a friend and tag a friend of me and tell them to come on in and get in where they fit in on the Lotus Riche Ignite Show. Tonight we've got a special guest that you want to know. Tag your ends. Awesome. Don't you just love that? I love going up to the top of the buildings and looking down to see what's going on down around me. Well, what's going on down around you tonight is a fabulous show, and I've got a great person coming on the show with me tonight. But I want to tell you to sit down, hold tight, and go ahead and get your cup, your Ignites cup. I want to know what's in your cup tonight. Tonight, I'm having a little bit of water. What are you having? All right, so I hope everybody took a sip. You're giving yourself some time to settle down. I know it's probably been a very, very busy day. After all, yesterday was Monday, and sometimes we have those super busy Mondays. We're trying to catch up with all the things from the weekend, and then you roll right into Tuesday, and you're still real busy. But tonight, we want you to sit back and relax as we talk about how to make heartful connections. That's right, heartful connections. So while you're coming in, go ahead, let us know where you're coming in from, and also let us know who you're tagging, who you're going to make a heartful connection with tonight to share this broadcast with them. And so I've got a wonderful guest that's coming in with me tonight, and she's full of love, and she's coming from a heart full of love right to you all around the world. So again, when you come in, let us know where you're coming in from, and go ahead and put an E. That's right. Put an E in the comment for Erin to send Erin some love. So with no further ado, I'm going to go backstage and I'm going to get my friend Erin. Be right back. Hold on to your seat and buckle up tight as one of the hottest shows on the planet kicks off its new season with great reasons to ignite and take flight in every area of your life. It's the Lotus Riche Ignites Show. Soars to new heights. Miss Erin Paige. As a speaker, author, healing artist, and mother, she connects to audiences worldwide in a heartfelt way. I present to you the authentic, powerful creator, worldwide speaker, and author, Erin Paige. Erin Paige, Erin Paige, Erin Paige. Hey, how are you?
Hello. I am doing wonderfully and so grand. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. So happy to have you here. I got to tell you, Erin, you are always doing things from a heartful way. And tonight, we're going to explore that. We're going to talk to people all around the world and talk about what it means to come in from a heartful way. So, bam, let's do something different. Wow, there we go. So, listen, folks, tonight, I want to invite you to ask her some hot seat questions. So don't be afraid to put it in the chat. If you got any questions for Erin, we are going to put her in the hot seat tonight. I want you to welcome my guest. She's an author, she's a speaker, she's a mom. She is, I don't want to say a coach because she's really not a coach, but she's going to tell you what she does because a little birdie told me she helps to ignite people. And so some of you may have never heard this title, but she's going to announce it right here tonight on the Lotus Riche Ignites Show. So, Erin, I want you to, I know tonight we're going to be talking about creating heartful connections. What is it and how do we do it? But before we get into that, I want you to tell us more about you.
I am thrilled to tell you about myself. I am Erin Paige, and thank you for the warm welcome, Lotus. I am beyond honored and beyond, talk about heartfulness. Like, my heart is exploding with so much joy to be with all of you guys tonight. So, as you said, I am a speaker. I love to speak in front of audiences and help people to become. That's one of my paintings back there. I am an artist, and I paint mostly hearts and then also lands, and I intuitively write on my paintings as well, and they're all created in love. And then, as you said, announcing tonight, yes, I've been known as a coach. Yes, I've been known as helping people through workshops and helping clients on an individual basis, but I wanted to step it up. And it was time in my life to step it up. So I no longer am called a coach. I am calling myself a dream igniter because I help people ignite that spark within them. And the people that are open to opening themselves up to take their lives to that infinite possibility and all of the goodness that life has to offer through heart-centered guidance. That's my passion. I think I just, God brought me here to be full of love, and that's what I'm going to do. And I hope tonight we touch some people's lives through your words and mine, Lotus. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. The Dream Igniter right here on the Lotus Riche Ignites Show, where we help people ignite and take flight in every area of their life. And I got to say, that's what you do. I've seen you up close and personal on the screen at your most recent speaking engagement, right? With Brenda.
Yes.
You electrified everybody there. Brenda Ringwood, right in Kansas. You electrified the people there, and you unequivocally helped them to ignite their dreams, help them for the dreams that they had abandoned. You had them do a 360 and go back and grab that dream and breathe life back into it. And that's phenomenal. And that's not easy to do. So I want to talk to you a bit about why Dream Igniter and how are you impacting people in that way by igniting their dreams?
Sure. Well, let me start out by, I love acronyms. So the DREAM stands for Dare Radiantly Every Day and Moment. And that actually came, I was called last summer I kept hearing rent it and they will come, rent it and they will come, kind of like Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. And so I launched a dream of mine to host an empowerment event, and it was called Dream Party. And basically we had a party for dreams, and we got ignited at that point. And I am in the process of scheduling Dream Party 2022 here in the Kansas City area. And it is my dream to carry that through to other cities as well, to help people, elevate, take those dreams, because I know from my own personal experience, and when I speak, I talk a lot about our timeline.
Yes.
That we have we have two things. Doesn't matter what your background is, what race, creed, religion, it doesn't matter. We all share two things, everyone. Two things, two ticks on our timeline. It's our birth date, and we're not getting out alive. It's what we do in between. And so one of the questions that I would challenge all of you out there tonight to think about as we have this heartful conversation is, what if you out there are the spark that ignites the shift in all humanity?
Yes.
What if you are the spark? And so it is my passion and my driving mission is to assist people to ignite their dreams and to dare radiantly every day and moment. So that's ultimately where it came from, Lotus, was
Awesome.
from dream and expanding that and really having and knowing that that's, my dharma, my personal journey, whatever you want to call it. And it's just elevating me to the next level so I can help other people elevate to their next level.
And look who else is helping people to elevate to their next level. Isabella Luz Camacho Black. She is helping people elevate. She said, she came in, she said hi to Michelle Custer. Hey, Michelle, it's great to have you here. I'm so happy. And she says, I am the spark. Let's ignite. That's right. And we have Angela Elting, and she's coming in all the way from Washington, D.C. We've got Harris all the way from the Philippines, and of course, doing double duty for your booty. Erin Paige is always doing double booty or double duty while she's helping and encouraging people to come on in and getting where you fit in, because you know what? We all have the opportunity to spark that little flame within people to help ignite them so that they can move to the next level of existence in their dream. Because let's face it, we all have a dream, but sometimes somewhere along the way, we lose it. And so I want to ask you, Erin, you've lived, you and I, we've talked, we've sat and we've had some deep discussions, and you've been through a lot. And all the things that you've been through, sometimes people don't want to share that. But what inspired you to come to the show tonight to, one, dive deep and talk about what we're getting ready to talk about, and also talk about creating HeartFULL Connections?
Well, Lotus, I think that we're just in it's not too far off the first of the year. The reason why it's so important, I think, for me to be here at this time to come on the show and inspire people is that we're kind of in that time frame where, we've set some resolutions, we've done some different things, and here we are essentially in the middle of March. And, maybe we need to ignite those dreams and those aspirations that we started. So, the starting gun went off at the beginning of the year, and maybe we just need to ignite because,
exactly.
I would say this, that, you're right. Everyone has dreams and everyone has a spark in them. Every single one of you out there were brought here for a reason, and you were brought here with purpose. And sometimes, including myself, sometimes we stuff all of it down so much that we've covered it that we don't necessarily lose the spark. It just dims. Because ultimately our soul, it goes with us when we leave this lifetime. So our soul's purpose is always there. It's just been dimmed, you guys. So we just need to have those conversations, those raw conversations, if anyone wants to ask me what I've been through, go right ahead, and I'd be happy to share some of the things.
Well, I'm not even going to wait for them, and I know what I'm looking for. So give me one quick second, and I'm going to grab here's what I'm looking for, folks. Here's what I'm looking for, because someone has already told me. Let me move this thing over. Let me move this thing over. I'm breaking stuff already, guys. Let me move this over. Okay, because someone has already told me I need to go ahead and say it. Note takers are money makers, and note takers are change makers. This is my notebook. So I got this out because guess what? You need to take notes, because we're about to deep dive. If you're ready for the deep dive, go ahead and put deep dive in the comment. D in the comment. Already got it. So let's get right in. Let's get in where we fit in. So it's without question that you have had some issues in your life, some challenges that you have brilliantly overcome. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. So I grew up really wanting for nothing, involved in everything, good student, National Honor Society, Gold Award recipient with Girl Scouts, you name it, I was involved. I was changing the back of my mom's car from, dance lessons to piano lessons to drama lessons. And, let me just forward. We talked about timelines, right?
Yes.
So fast forward, and I will say this, that I got lost in college. I discovered freedom. And there's a difference between good freedom and not so good freedom. And I don't like to say bad or failing. I like to say good or not so good, because I think ultimately we're just on a huge learning curve with life.
Yes.
Okay. So, and every not so good moment is an opportunity to turn it into something good. Right. So I was raped at 19 and shortly thereafter, actually backing up, I'm messing up my own timeline. So I had a car accident, and I flipped my car 3 times, ladies and gentlemen, on a dirt road. I was trying to avoid someone that was coming up on a hill. I had a date in the car, and he did not have his seatbelt on. I had mine on. And both of us were very, very fortunate to survive. And with that, everyone, I had alcohol in my system. I was under the BAC, but I was arrested because I had an accident. So had to go through all of that. Married once, had a child, became a single mother, moved forward, got married again, decided to leave that relationship. It wasn't a good situation for me or my son, and move forward. And I just recently left another relationship, and what I didn't realize, I didn't understand how real emotional abuse is, what a narcissist is, and then what ultimately ended with physical. So I've been through quite a bit, and many people, and that might be something you might ask me, Lotus, and I'll just go ahead and answer it. So many people are like, how in the world do you still have a smile on your face? How in the world can you still see the good in everyone? And let me say this, that you know how I said those ticks on your timeline? What I've decided, this is what I tell people. Everyone has the right to their pity party.
Yep.
It's how long you stay at the party that matters. So on my timeline, a lot of times here, I think I've got a Sharpie right here. So many of us, this little tick on our timeline, we've got our little tick, and we just take a Sharpie, this permanent marker, and we just keep circling over and over and over and over again, and we keep reliving it. And we
Yes.
live in shame, and we live in we blame, the shame and blame game. I decided that I wasn't going to do that. Not to say that it wasn't difficult. It took me 10 years, to be honest, to get over or to
Mhm.
heal from the rape. And it was a therapist that actually said, "Congratulations, Erin, you've gone through the final phase of healing, and that's letting go of the unconscious." And I didn't even know that. So yeah, I have a story just like everybody else. And we have physical scars and we have invisible scars. And to be honest, it's the invisible scars that take the longest to heal and that we don't know and we don't see. So treat people with kindness, with respect, and with a full heart. And
Yes.
we'll be able to elevate the world to a different place if we do that.
I love it. So if you are loving what she's sharing, if these things resonate with you, if you know someone, or if you were that person that you were raped at a young age, or even as an adult, or you know someone, if you were ever in a car accident, if you flipped over, this has happened to me too, you know, and you were out there and you didn't know what was going to happen next. Were you ever arrested for drinking and driving? That's never happened to me, but I've been in a car that flipped several times and the driver fell asleep because he was the designated driver and the owner of the car was sitting in the seat next to him, but he was drunk. So the designated driver was driving and he fell asleep, and the three of us girls, we were in the back seat, and we flipped over on I-95 several times, and I heard my mother's voice when the car was up and running, and she said, "You never go to sleep when someone else is driving." So I've been there. How many of you are single mothers or single fathers and you've been through abusive relationships, whether they're physical, emotional, or even spiritual abuse? How many of you have been walking in those shoes? How many of you know someone who's walked in those shoes? How many of you know someone who's walking in those shoes right now? Because Erin, you shared that you recently got out of an abusive relationship. And so age is just a number, because we can all encounter abusive relationships. It doesn't matter from 1 to 100 plus, because people are living longer these days. We can encounter these type of relationships. So if this resonates with you, go ahead and put a number 5. 5, stay alive. 5, stay alive. Put that in the comment block. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's you that you're talking about. It could be somebody you know, love, or care about. And so thanks, Erin, for sharing that, because it takes courage to share that. It takes courage. It's not easy. So with all of this you've been through, how do you create a heartful connection in people's lives? How do you do that with all the hell that you've been through?
Lotus, it starts with yourself. That's why I have me, my best friend. I'm wearing my t-shirt tonight. Ultimately, it starts with yourself, because if you do not have a personal relationship and a heartful connection with yourself, there is no way that you can have it with anything else and with anybody else or any scenario.
Yes.
So, I have faith in a higher power.
Mm-hmm.
And I have faith, and I know what I know for sure is that I was brought here for a reason. If I wasn't brought here for a reason, I would have died in that car accident.
Yes.
Because the next day when we went to the salvage yard, my dad and myself, the corner of the car, there was metal pointing straight down. And if I wouldn't have had my seatbelt on, it would have punctured my brain. So those are the kinds of things that I think you should start out with, is be grateful and to show appreciation for the fact that you woke up the very next day. A lot of times I wake up and I'll say, before my feet even hit the floor, I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. How will I be of service to you today? Who will be out there that I can change, the lives that I can change, and to have a heartful connection and conversation with people in your personal life is just appreciate who those people are for who they are. They're not going to be like you. You don't want them to be like you. And just appreciate them and step out. And I know that we're going to talk a little bit about business, and we're going to talk about some different ways, different areas. But ultimately, if you can step out of the box, so step outside of the frame that you've got here going on, and step outside. You know, when I was growing up, we had big box televisions, right? Step out of the television box and look back in and view things from a different perspective. And you might see something in yourself that you need to uplift and change. And you might appreciate the other person and what they have to say and their perspective and their point of view in a different way.
Exactly.
So, yes. And then you can just jump back into, you know, your sitcom of life, and you can have that heart-centeredness about you. I do that personally through the breath. I think that that's super important. I mean, how many of us forget to breathe? And I talk a lot, I work a lot with individuals about breathing through your heart space. Yes, you're physically breathing through your nose and your mouth. But if you can imagine that you're breathing in love, because there's love all around us, breathe in love through your heart center, and imagine that you're in a lava lamp. Okay, so think about this just a second, everyone. Think about a lava lamp when it's not plugged in. What does it do? All those blobs sit at the bottom. So imagine that you're breathing in love through heart-centered and your heart space, and you've plugged in your personal lava lamp, and you're heating it up, and I'm calling it liquid love. And all of a sudden, all those bubbles and those, you know, those blobs of goodness start to flow throughout your body, and it picks up your own personal love, because we all have unique divine gifts and love, and it all gets intertwined. And then on the breath out, you're breathing out love to everyone else. So that helps keep me centered, whether I'm having a personal conversation or a professional conversation with someone. And that's a tool that I use and I share with people, and I do it all the time. So that's how I stay centered and to have a heartful connection in my personal lives, or with the people in my life. Yep.
Awesome. I love it. So I want to ask a question of our viewers. This is a very interactive show here at the Lotus Riche Ignites Show. How many of you have learned to have a heartful connection with yourself? How many of you have learned to accept yourself just as you are? The good days, the not so good days, the times when you look in the mirror and you say, oh, you know, I've gained a little weight, or, oh, I need to gain some weight. If you haven't had that opportunity, just maybe tonight, Erin and I can share some ways with you to really connect back with yourself, to have that heartful connection with your personal life. So, Erin, I want to ask you, how do you create heartful connections in business? Okay, because it is unequivocal that people, if they're not creating heartful connections in their personal life, with their self first, with their family members, and with their friends or others that they care about, it's really hard to have a heartful connection in business. To me, it's almost become more about gaining money than really cultivating a relationship when we operate outside of a heartful connection with people we do business with.
Well, And I suppose one question that I would have for all the viewers is to think about, you mentioned that we've kind of become all about, what's the profit margin,
Right.
right?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? So if you could take a minute and reframe and start thinking about, what's the bigger picture here? What if I threw profit margins out the window and I just focused on the goodness that this product or my services will offer other people? I think that will start to have that heartful connection in your business. Take your ultimate, be selfless.
Yes, I like that. I like that. And so now that you've asked that, before we go on, because I really want you to dive deep into that. How many of you heard her guide you to think about what's the bigger picture? Take a moment, even if you have to close your eyes. What's the bigger picture for you? If you're asking yourself, what's the bigger picture? Go ahead and put a number 7, not 6, 7. For those of you that tracking, you might be saying, Lotus, you said 5 earlier. That's the last number we left up on, but put a 7. If you have taken a moment to think about what's the bigger picture for you, because here's the thing, this is going to have a trickle down effect from what you do in business to what you do in life. So Erin, please continue.
Sure. I'd like to offer an example as far as thinking about the bigger picture and reframing. So many of us think that we need to make massive change as far as our bank account, the number of products that we sell. And what if we started to think about the ripple effect? And that's another thing that I talk about, is the ripple effect. So I'll give you an example. I had a conversation with a woman that said, I listened to your ripple talk and the ripple effect. And she said, in my business, she goes, I don't have a big ripple. And I said, hold on a second. You're in a business, I understand, because I knew about her business. And I understand that there's essentially probably a lot of pressure, and there's, we're exposed through social media and we're bombarded all the time with what everyone else is doing. Okay. Everyone else is succeeding. And you see these pictures of people getting gold and platinum awards and getting bonuses and all of that. I said, I understand that. And I understand that you're probably putting way more pressure on yourself than you realize. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. She was in health and wellness. I said, did you talk to one person this week about their health? And she said, wow. Yes, actually, I've talked to several people. Mm-hmm. And I said, so let me ask you another question. Did she buy from you? And she said, she's thinking about it. I said, well, let me help you reframe. Whether she buys from you or not, mm-hmm. you threw in a ripple rock into her world.
Yes.
Got her to think about her health and wellness.
Exactly.
I said, that's your ripple. That's your ripple. And I think what we lose track of is that our businesses really ultimately should be of service.
Exactly.
How am I being of service to other people? Not for myself, but for other people. And if let's say this woman plants or throws in a ripple rock for this woman to think about her health and wellness. And she doesn't even buy the product, mm-hmm. but it got her thinking about it. And she found something else that she personally felt was better for her and went out and shifted and changed other people's lives. So you've got this woman over here that made one conversation, and it may not be in her cards or in her dharma or in her life's timeline. It may just not be to be this massive producer within her company. It just may not be. But what she did was she sparked someone else's curiosity in her health and wellness, and ended up creating all kinds of ripples on a massive level. And that's her life's
Right.
purpose. So you never know. That's why I say, if you see someone that is, I see people all the time, they're just glowing with sunshine. Take time to compliment them.
Yep.
Because you never know what that person is going through, what they need. Maybe that smile or that compliment
Yes.
was what they needed to ignite themselves to go and ask for a promotion.
Exactly.
Ask for what they were worth. So we're all connected. And I can share either now or later about the heartfulness. There's science behind it, people.
Yes.
There's science behind it. And we're
Yes.
all connected. So if you
I love it.
think that the things that you're doing in business are small, I encourage you so much to reframe and to think differently, because every day that you get up and you make a step forward in your business and you do it in a heartful, kind way, we all know the difference. I mean, there's always wonkiness that happens when we're not heart-centered. I know for me personally, I mean, I'm so sensitive to it. But the more you breathe into that heart space, you start to ignite that liquid love within you, you're going to shift. Your personal lives and your business lives will shift as well. You'll notice it.
Amen. I agree with that. So here's what I want to do. I want to talk about the science behind it. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a quick break, everybody, and then we're going to come right back and we're going to drop some secret sauce from the science perspective of what we're talking about as far as the heartful space. And so we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
I had the opportunity to work with Lotus Riche and her team to create a promo video for my business. And let me tell you, she and her team are pretty darn outstanding. I had recorded a video that we were going to use in the promo. And during our meeting, they actually walked me through what worked in the video, and they provided suggestions for improving the video so that I can actually capture the audience and the clients that I want and the people that need my services. They actually told me what I could add to the video and how to set the entire thing up so that when people watch that promo, they will come away knowing who I am, what I do, and why they should contact me. So if you have the chance to work with Lotus Riche and her team, you are not going to be disappointed.
Trinidad and Tobago's first international virtual fashion showcase. Experience it firsthand with Lotus Riche Ignites, the official agency covering the event for the U.S. telecast. In collaboration with Cardinal Services and Fashion TT, Lotus Riche Ignites is your business one-stop shop for all your business needs. Connect with us today. And I'm loving it. We popping back in on the scene. You see Erin come up in there really quickly. All right, so we are back. And just in case you're just joining us, folks, we are having a fabulous conversation with my guest, none other than the Dream Igniter herself. She's an author, she's a speaker, and so much, much more. But you got to learn it by getting your notes and jotting down what she's talking about, because tonight we're talking about creating heartful connections. What is it and how do you do it? And Erin has shared so much about her life, from the struggles she's had, from being arrested to being raped to being a single mother, and just to really finding herself, from abuse to really overcoming in the face of challenge. And tonight, she's sharing how she's been able to do it in a heartful way. And right before we went to break, Erin, we talked about what it is and how it is to have and make heartful connections in business. And you said that there's a science behind it. So we want to talk about the science behind creating heartful connections. Erin?
Sure. So I learned through, and I encourage people to look it up, Heart Math Institute. I took a course with them, and they talked about the vibrations of the heart. And actually, the heart communicates more with the brain than the brain communicates with the heart. So the conversation that we're having tonight, Lotus, is essential to business and our personal lives. Having that heartful connection with ourselves and with others. Yes. So they did a study. They know with the beating of the heart that it creates vibrations. And so they did a study to see how far those vibrations extended. And what they found out was that it was up to 9 feet. So of course, when they were reporting all of this, someone asked the question, as they should, always question everything, right? They said, well, how do you know that it's 9 feet? And they said, well, actually, we believe that it's infinite. It's just that our man-made instruments can only measure up to 9 feet.
Right.
So when you think about it, so the science is that the heart creates these vibrations. And however you are in your heart space are the types of vibrations that are going outward into the world. So if you're not in a good heart space, those vibrations are vibrating outward in a not so good way. But if you are in a positive state, the opposite is happening. So if you are in a room with someone and you are in close proximity, you are sharing your vibrations with everyone else around you, and they are sharing their heart vibrations with you. Right. That's why it's so important to have boundaries, or to excuse yourself from the room, which I've done before. Very kindly, I just need to take a break, use the restroom. Use the restroom excuse every time, ladies and gentlemen. It works every time. So that's the science behind it, is that they have actually measured that the heart has vibrations, and you are interlocking and you are in an exchange as you are with other people. So that's why it's so, so important that we be in a heartful, in a heart-centered space at all times.
That's awesome. And so I love what you shared. First and foremost, let me say that. I love what you shared, because it's super important that we understand that this is not something that, is just made up. This is something that is unequivocally a part of how we live. So I'm and how we engage with our heart and our mind. And so although we don't own the rights to the video from the heart math, I want to share a little bit of this with you so that you can understand exactly what she's talking about. So we're going to share a little bit of this.
Over the past 18 years, our research center has investigated heart-brain interactions, how the heart and the brain communicate with each other, and how that affects consciousness and our perceptions. One of the things we identified in our research was the state we now call coherence. And what we found was that when we're feeling positive emotions, like we're really appreciating the sunset, or really feeling love or compassion or care for someone, that the heart beats out a very different message. The heart generates by far the largest rhythmic electromagnetic field produced in the body. And what we've now found is that if we look at the spectrum analysis of the magnetic field radiated by the heart, that emotional information is actually encoded and modulating into those fields. So by learning to shift our emotions, that's changing the information we're encoding into the magnetic fields radiated by the heart, and that can impact those around us. We are fundamentally and deeply interconnected with each other and the planet itself. And what we do individually really does count and matters.
Wow. So I really love that we were able to share that with you. And we don't own the rights to that video, but we have been really blessed to be able to share that video with you via www.heartmath.org. And I thank heartmath.org because that's something that a lot of us, I would imagine, we didn't even know that. If you knew that, go ahead and put a 6. I'm going to 6 now. Put a 6 in the comment block below. And if you didn't, it's okay. Go ahead and put a 10 because there's always room to get in where you fit in and learn more here on the Ignite Show. So we're going to go right to another question that we had for you as far as creating heartful connections on a spiritual realm. Because, a lot of times when we experience pain or we experience loss, like I just lost my mother recently, and it's very, very painful for me. So it's hard to sometimes come from a heartful place when we question why the loss, But it takes me to this as well from what he was sharing was that, when we have so much loss, like my family, we've lost like 19, probably 20 people now in the past year and a half, of which my mother was very, very close to many of them. She was a very family-oriented person. And a friend of mine in Japan had sent me something, when I was telling her about my mother's condition, and she was asking, has your mother suffered any significant loss? Because when you look at different practices, spiritual practices like Ho'oponopono, it talked about the science behind ailments showing up in the heart or showing up in the chest cavity or showing up in the brain. Why? Because of tremendous loss. And so it's hard to come from a heartful way spiritually sometimes. So can you share with us, how do you create a heartful connection when it comes to spiritual life?
Sure. So I believe that we were created in love. Therefore, we are love, and there is no separation. So yes, we go through loss and we go through the human experience of heartache. But what always brings me home, Lotus, is that it gets me emotional.
Yeah.
We were created in the one unconditional love. And we're not separated from that, even in our loss. Even in our loss and our heartache and our trials and tribulations and in the human experience of the good and then, having these not so good, things happen to us, we are not separated. And so I love visualizing.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times when I feel great loss of different things and, even loss of just even going off my path for a while. Imagine that grab a blanket, and that blanket is that unconditional love of God, Spirit, the universe, the one unconditional love, and it's not separated from you, and it's there for you at any time. And that's where I find most comfort. And I know, again, as I said earlier in the show, that I believe everyone has the right to their pity party. It's how long you stay at the party that matters. And if you are in that moment of questioning, why am I going through this? Understand that you need to get out of your pity party, because the love that brought you here is the love that wants you to get up and dry your tears Put the bandages on your knees, put knee pads on next time, right? and just take it one step at a time. One step at a time, because you're never separated from that. And that's how I come back to my heart center in a spiritual way. Because, when I lost my father a few years ago, I mean, it was about probably a month after he had passed.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to the gym early in the morning, and there was this sunrise. And what I realized, and I said out loud in my car, I said, "Oh, Dad, now I get to experience you everywhere."
Mm-hmm.
And so that's, hopefully those are some tools, just understand that no matter the loss, that love that's within you, that created you, is still there. And just take it one step at a time.
Awesome. Thank you. I feel like that message was for me, everybody. And I'm not going to be stingy. I'm sharing the message. So if you receive that, go ahead and put a number 11 in the comment, because we have to really understand what's out there for us. We really have to understand how to create those heartful connections from the spirit side of things as well. You talked about how to do it in business. You talked about how to do it in life. You talked about how to do it in the spirit. And there's my best friend, Denise Simpson Hurst, one of my best friends on the planet. I've known this lady since I was, well, I don't know. If I tell y'all, then y'all know. But I was 19 when I met her on a Navy ship, the USS Holland. So hey to all my Navy folks out there. Hey to all my Holland folks out there. Hey, Angie. So thanks, Denise, for being here, of course. And I just know that many of you, you're getting it. You're getting it. And people are saying faith. Yes. And Michelle Custer, what is she saying? Erin, want to read what she's saying?
Oh, yeah. She's sending so much love and light to you, Lotus.
All right. And who else do we have right there, Erin?
Looks like from Columbus, Ohio, a Facebook user. It doesn't have a name.
Exactly. And you can put your name if you like. So grieving is tough from the Facebook user. You said that. And I asked for 6s. I asked for 7s. I asked for 10s. And there we are. And Camille, the fabulous Camille Robb, said the power of the heart. Yes, the power of the heart is phenomenal. And Kay DeLeon said, just like the third law of motion states, every action will always have a reaction. That is so true. That is so true. So Overland Park, of course, we got Overland Park in the house with us. Thank you so much. And we have got Ebony Saunders coming in from Kansas. Thank you for joining us. We got folks in from the Philippines, Africa, and of course, love that. Michelle says, falling in love with myself was the best thing I ever did, but it is a journey. So grateful and blessed. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. And she said it's a daily practice. So it's not something that we can just look at and say, okay, I'll pick it up today and drop it down tomorrow. Okay. And Kay says, you can't share what you don't have. Heartful connection starts with us. That's powerful. That's powerful. That's awesome. So I really love all the comments that you're sharing, everyone. Keep them coming. And if you have any questions for Erin, don't hesitate to share those questions. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back for our question number 6. We're right at the top of the hour. We're going to come back with our last question, and then she's going to give us some secret sauce about her guidebook, her journal, and a couple other things that she's coming up with very, very soon, coming to a place right near you. Okay, so we'll be right back. Trinidad and Tobago's first international virtual fashion showcase. Experience it firsthand with Lotus Riche Ignites, the official agency covering the event for the U.S. telecast. In collaboration with Cardinal Services and Fashion TT. Lotus Riche Ignites is your business one-stop shop for all your business needs. Connect with us today.
It's time for you to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you in StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professional. Not assistant, because the assistant can only assist you, but the virtual professional can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get it where you fit in and start bossing today.
Hold on to your seat and buckle up tight as one of the hottest shows on the planet kick off its new season with great reasons to ignite and take flight in every area of your life. It's the Lotus Riche Ignites Show. Soars to new heights. Miss Erin Paige. As a speaker, author, healing artist, and mother, she connects the audiences worldwide in a heartfelt way. I present to you the authentic, powerful creator, worldwide speaker and author, Erin Paige. Hello, and we're back, and welcome to some of you that are just joining us, and some of you that are going to hit the replay. Thank you so much for hitting the replay. And I see Terrence Leffridge here. Hi, good to see you. And Sean Seagal, how you doing? He's the user, and he's in Ohio. So thank you for being here. Bravo Zulu to you too. I thank you so much. And Camille, the fabulous Camille Robb says, love is what we need more than anything else. Yes, we do. And Erin says, I appreciate all of your comments. Thrilled you are here. Mucho love and light. I told you she's always doing double duty. And so, of course, let me bring this back up because I took this off the screen. But of course, for those of you that are looking for social media, you want to be bossing in social media, you see the commercial, connect with us and let us help you do what you need to do for your business. So with that being shared, for those of you that's just joining us, we've had a phenomenal time thus far with our guest, right, around the world, our guest, Miss Erin Paige. She's been talking with me and all of you about creating heartful connections, what it is and how to do it. And we just recently talked. That's your cat?
Yeah, we just had a pop-up visitor.
What's your cat name?
That's Mr. Edgar.
Mr. Edgar.
Mr. Edgar's Mr. Personality. So I'm not surprised he wanted to steal the show for just a quick second.
That's quite all right. Mr. Edgar is welcome to the Lotus Riche Ignites Show anytime. So let's kick it in with number 6. How do you create heartful connections in society?
All right. So earlier I mentioned about scars, right?
Yes.
So we have physical scars and we have invisible scars.
Yes.
And those are the mental, those are the things that are happening within ourselves. Okay. So how to have a heartful connection in society is to realize that we're all the same. We're all connected.
Yes.
And that we do not know with full understanding and awareness of what someone has or will go through. So I mentioned in the last one about have the heartful connection with spiritual in your spiritual life. It's our responsibility as people of service, stewards of service, and people that were brought here to be of service to others, to treat people with kindness and to treat people with heart, because we do not know what other people are going through. And that's how to have a heartful connection with more people in society, is just to understand that everyone at some degree, my mom and I always used to say that everyone goes through the exact same things. It's just the degree to which it happens to someone and when it happens to someone.
Right.
So we all deal with relationship issues. We all deal with financial issues, health issues, all of that. And we do. Some of us have better health issues than others.
Exactly.
So you just never know when a worse health issue is going to start happening to you. You just don't know. And there's might be somebody that's already experienced it and someone that may experience it in the future. So if we're all really tracking, and as I began tonight, I said that we all share 2 ticks on our timeline. And then that line, I mean, we still have a line from birth to death. Yeah. And we're all experiencing different things, but ultimately it's still a line that we share. So the more heart-centered you are, as I said, you start with yourself. The more heart-centered you are, the more you can ripple that outward into your business life, your spiritual life, and out into society.
I love it. I love it. So I just want to recap a little bit. Some of you that are just coming in, you're probably just joining in, or you rewinding this or what have you, replaying this. I'm here tonight with the Dream Igniter, Erin Paige. And she's been talking about a heartful connection, creating those heartfelt connections. And it's amazing that she can really do this, because she's been in an accident. She's been flipped over 3 times. She was drinking while driving. So she got arrested. She was raped at 19, and she's a single mom. And a lot of the things that she hadn't even shared here, she's had a lot of weight on her shoulders, but she found a way to create heartful connections. And what she shared is that it starts within yourself. It starts with appreciation and gratitude and stepping outside of the box and learning how to breathe through the difficult times that you're dealing with and to stay heart-centered. She also shared that we should think about the bigger picture, okay? And that here's one thing that I really love that you shared, that we all have physical and emotional scars. We've all got them. And some are deeper, some are greater than others. But the thing is that helps to level the playing field, because it happens to everyone. But if we start thinking differently, you might want to write this down. If we start thinking differently, right? Because note takers are money makers, and money makers, when they take those notes, they make change, right? So if you can change what you think about, because you really become what you think about, and you can control your thoughts, you can really control your life. But it really starts with you. What are you listening to? Are you listening to the Dream Igniter, or are you listening to somebody else who's not got your vested interest at heart? You know, are you really ready to start from within yourself? And do you appreciate where you are today? Do you have the gratitude? And so I got to tell you, Erin, you came in, you rocked the house, and I thank you for being on with us tonight. And so before we end this broadcast, I cannot let you out of this studio without asking you about a couple of key components that you shared with me that I want to share with the world. So I know that there are tools within your guidebook and your journal that you use. So can you kind of talk to us about that?
Sure. So I recently published what I call a guidebook, and I call them notes to self. It actually started out with text messages I was sending my son in high school, and I would think of life lessons, and I would, put momism. and I would write it out and put a little heart and love mom. And I sent lots of those. And then I started thinking, I'm going to compile those because they were life lessons, good reminders for myself. And I'll give you an example. So out of all of them, there's 18 in this guidebook, but I have a lot more, and I'll probably do a second edition. But number 3 is, when you feel good, you can go out and do good. And then there's a little explanation of what I'm talking about. And then there's a thought-provoking question. So it's, like I said, it's a guidebook for you to use to journal in and all of that. But number 3 was the only one that my son ever responded to. So moms and dads out there, if you think your words are falling on deaf ears, they really are listening. So that's one of the tools. And just, little reminders throughout. And then I also have an opportunity to, maybe do a discovery call with me. If you're feeling like your spark, as I said, it's never completely put out.
Exactly.
It's just been dimmed. So if there's an opportunity for us to set aside, 30 minutes, I am offering a free 30-minute call with someone to see if maybe we can help unclutter your mind, because it does start with the mind. We've got to unclutter our mind and our bodies. Think about this, that whatever you're putting in your body is becoming part of you. So what you're eating, what you're drinking,
Yep.
It's the same thing with your mind, what you're thinking. You said we become our thoughts, and that's profound when you realize that. And because that's all connected, that sometimes clients want to have me help them with their home to help declutter, because once you can clear what's going on in your mind, then everything else shifts and changes. Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And all of a sudden it's like, maybe I don't need, 16, pairs of this or t-shirts, and there's a different way to think about it. And it's really quite incredible when you can declutter your life, how light life becomes. And then that actually opens up your heart space even more. So if that's something that someone is interested in, just reach out to me through my website, or erinpaige.com, or you can certainly email me at erin@erinpaige.com as well.
Okay, so I want to put this in here because I want to make sure that everybody's seeing this up here, erinpaige.com. But I was really looking at somebody that said, hey, I made it. Brenda Ringwood. She made it. She said, 2 beautiful ladies. Thank you so much, Brenda, for joining us. And Terrence Leffridge, he's here tonight. He said, wherever you are in life, your mind got you there. Trevor Ott. And that is so true. So true. Michelle says, fabulous show, ladies. Wonderful message. And Brenda said, well said. Love, Erin. Woo woo. Hi, Angie. So with that being shared, we're going to go and take a quick break. Okay. And we're going to come back for some words of wisdom. I want you to stand by for our words of wisdom. We're going to take like a half a second break and come back, because I've got to share with you this amazing event that's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, and I am so happy to be a part of it. We'll be right back with the final words of wisdom for this show from Miss Erin Paige. We'll be right back. Trinidad and Tobago's first international virtual fashion showcase. Experience it firsthand with Lotus Riche Ignites, the official agency covering the event for the U.S. telecast. In collaboration with Cardinal Services and Fashion TT, Lotus Riche Ignites is your business one-stop shop for all your business needs. Connect with us today. All right, so listen, I've got to go right here. I'm going to bring Erin Paige back up. But listen, here's the thing. Erin Paige, you guys, I got to tell you, You guys got to see her stand up doing one of her talks. She's amazing. So I had to say that again. So for those of you that hadn't seen her do one of her talks, you got to see it. But right now we're going right to Erin for her final words of wisdom for this show. Erin, here you go.
All right, everyone. Here is my word of wisdom. You were created in love, therefore you are love. You were brought here with purpose, and each and every single one of you and those around the world have divine gifts that must, not need, but must be shared with others. Wherever you are, if you feel afraid to do it, find someone that will give you the courage. Call someone up and say, I need a little bit of courage today. And if you don't have anybody else, call out to me and I will uplift you and we will dream up together and we will ignite the spark that you and only you possess so you can go out and shine your light into the world. There's my wisdom.
Awesome. I'm loving it. Woo, woo! Come on, Erin, give it up for yourself. Woo, woo, woo! Awesome. I'm loving it. So that's the Dream Igniter herself, Erin Paige. We've had a wonderful discussion on creating heartful connections. What is it and how to do it? And so tonight, my final words of wisdom are these. Do what Erin said do. Do what Erin said do. And also, don't forget to join me on tomorrow night. I'm having another spectacular guest, and this can speak for itself.
Hold on to your seat and buckle up tight as one of the hottest shows on the planet kicks off its new season with great reasons to ignite and take flight in every area of your life. It's the Lotus Riche Ignites Show. Soars to new heights. Join our broadcast on March 23rd, where our guest will be Mr. Unstoppable, Terrence Lethbridge.
And as always, imparting wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day. Listen for the lesson that may come with the crazy, and then you can't help but make it an unstoppable day. Take care.
We'll see you here on the Lotus Riche Ignites Show.
And don't forget, thank you again to all of our supporters all around the world. Thank you for supporting our channel. And if you'd like to support our channel, share your love as you support the channel. You can support us by Zelle at lotusriche@yahoo.com. You can support us at PayPal at paypal.me, Lotus Riche Ignites Cash. Or you can use Cash App. We thank you again, and we thank all of our supporters that hit the replay. We cannot forget the people that hit the replay. And so, Erin, I think it's our time to say good night to our audience, and we'll see them real soon. So, Erin, what's next for you? What do you got coming up in the near future?
Oh my gosh, so many amazing things. Just so many things. I am going to be doing a workshop, a mindful workshop here in April. We're working out details for that. I am going to be a part of the Becoming the Best You conference in St. Louis in October. So exciting. And you know what? You're right. When I take stage, I'm a totally different person, and I highly encourage you to seek me out to find out when I take stage again. And
Wait. When she takes stage, she ignites and she takes flight. Why? Because she is the dream igniter. So don't forget that. So listen, Erin, Mrs. Ignite and Take Flight herself, the Dream Igniter, we're both here, and we're both going to be on that event with Miss Ringwood. Brenda Ringwood. You want to be at that event. You don't want to miss it. I think Mr. Unstoppable might even be there as well. So make sure you get in where you fit in on this event. We will be supporting it. We will be showing any videos about that event because it's amazing. Now, with that being said, secret sauce before we go. You got on a shirt, and then there's a little yellow tab in the back. How about tell me about that?
I would be happy to tell you about that because this was something that I was called to do when I was at the gym. All these people had these inspirational work t-shirts on, and I was like, it came to me, my best friend. What we've been talking about the whole night, Lotus, is that we've got to start out with ourselves.
Exactly.
Once we become our best friend, we can be a friend to anyone.
Yep.
So these t-shirts are me, my best friend. I actually have journals as well on my website. I actually put the link in. Hopefully it went through. But for you guys, I have them on sale.
Yes.
And so check it out if you want, if are interested at all. But the significance of the yellow dot, ladies and gentlemen, is this. It's from Matthew. It's all about the mustard seed. You all are a mustard seed, and you are all here to change and to move mountains. And with full faith,
yes,
you can make that happen. And so that's what that represents. And unbeknownst to me, when I got my t-shirts back, Lotus, you put it on, and it's in the sacral chakra.
Oh, wow.
In the solar plexus chakra, which is the color yellow, which is all about self-empowerment and self-worth. And it's everything that me, my best friend, stands for. So if you're interested, go to erinpaige.com/shop and you'll see it there. And yeah, that's what the yellow dot means. And it's very significant.
Wow. So listen, I want to thank you for the discount that you're giving folks. I love it. For just sharing the love on here. She's awesome. So listen, don't forget to see us tomorrow night where our guest is going to be Terrence Leffridge, Mr. Unstoppable himself. So let's give it up for Erin Paige. Woo woo!
Thank you. Woo, woo to everyone out there. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll see you tomorrow night. See ya.
Hold on to your seat and buckle up tight as one of the hottest shows on the planet kicks off its new season with great reasons to ignite and take flight in every area of your life. It's the Lotus Riche Ignites Show. Soars to new heights. Join our broadcast on March 23rd where our guest will be Mr. Unstoppable, Terrence Leffridge.
And as always, imparting wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day. Listen for the lesson that may come with the crazy, and then you can't help but make it an unstoppable day. Take care.
We'll see you here on the Lotus Riche Ignites